Thanks for coming back to my channel, Stay Forever True. Okay, you all, so I'm holding blue kyanite. My first time working with this. Helps with that throat chakra, okay? But anywho, I'm going to be talking about Virgo. So we are in Virgo season right now. Before I even get into the video, let me let y'all know that whenever I'm talking about a specific zodiac sign, just know that even though you may not be that sun sign, Virgo is in everyone's chart. Somewhere in your chart, even if you don't have planets in Virgo, it's somewhere in your chart. So this is going to pertain to you in some part of your life. You just have to see which house it falls in. If you're like, I don't know what the hell you're talking about, Google free birth chart, right? Put in your birth information, especially your time of birth, and you'll see where Virgo falls in your chart. Whatever house it's in, that's where you know Virgo energy is going to be the most prevalent, okay? That's when you're going to play out this Virgo energy. So that being said, let's get into this. This is not just pertain to like the zodiac sign Virgo. This also pertains to this time of the year. Anytime Virgo season is among us, this is the energy we're going to get. Anytime the moon is in Virgo, this is the energy you're going to get within your emotions. Anytime Mercury is in Virgo, you're going to get that when it comes to the way you think and the way you speak. Venus in Virgo is going to be about your close relationships and your interests, how you entertain yourself, things like that. So it's going to fall into some part of the chart, whether it be in your chart or the chart of the world, okay? So before we get into this, I got to drink some tea. So I'm straining off some of my tea because, child, the throat chakra is definitely going to be activated in this video. So just some mundane things that most of you probably know about Virgo if you're into astrology. Virgo is the, the sixth zodiac sign. Virgo is a mutable sign, meaning that it is a changeable sign. And the way that you can tell that it's a mutable sign is the time of the year that it occurs. It happens, Virgo energy occurs between the transition of summer going into fall. So this energy is not too hot, not too cold. It's somewhere in the middle. It's a transition to that next phase, which is very important to know about Virgo energy, especially because they're an earth sign and they are a mutable earth, which is very weird. This is why they be like, because it's like, to think about it. Think about earth moving. Think about earth being like somewhat malleable, right? It's like clay, like they are like that clay energy. It can pretty much show itself in any type of way. And it's not always as stable as it needs to be. And it's not always as movable as it needs to be. So this puts them in the sense of being very nervous. That's one of the reasons why they're very nervous. And also, Virgo energy, I believe, rules over your intestines, which makes sense, or intestines, is because Virgos are very analytical and they digest information. And what your intestines do is that they digest your food, but also they take out the nutrients that you need for your body to reabsorb, and then it leaves in the toxins and things that your body don't need, or like the fiber, so your body can then excrete those things or eliminate those things from your body. So Virgo energy is very good at discerning, okay, this is what I need, I don't need this, I need this, I need this, da 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 da, and they can just read you for filth, okay? That's one of their like superpowers. So it's a mutable energy. Also, Virgo is ruled by Mercury, and this fits with their sister sign, Gemini. Virgo and Gemini are both mutable signs. That's why even though Virgo is an earth sign, and typically earth signs don't necessarily get along with air signs, they still can, Gemini and Virgos can be like the best freaking duo because they're both ruled by the same planet, which is Mercury. But it'll show up differently as far as how they carry out that Mercurian or mercurial energy, okay? Also, Virgo is a negative sign because it's a feminine sign. And yeah, that's the main thing about Virgo. They call her the maiden, and also like the virgin. Virgo energy is so contradictory. It contradicts itself so much, because even though Virgos are super analytical, they're very smart, they can discern certain things, they have a tendency to attract people who they are also naive about things. They're also kind of in the dark about stuff, which is so weird. It's like, you're so smart when it comes to this, but when it comes to dealing with people and discerning like certain people that you should have around you, for some reason, like, you can't, you attract like the worst people. Not the worst, but like, Virgo energy can be attracting like people that you would be like, why are you cool with this person? Like, why are y'all even hanging out with this person? You should not be around them. Let me take a sip. Also with Virgo energy, the opposite of Virgo is Pisces. So Virgo, what we typically think of Virgo is kind of rigid. They're kind of like, you know, the girl next door, simple, plain, humble energy. They like to help others. They're the party poopers. You know, Leo happens, everybody ready to party. Then Virgo happens, everybody got to go back to school. You know, we got work to do. We got to clean the house. Like, dang, you know, that's the Virgo. You got to buckle down, come back down to earth, right? It's an earth sign. So the opposite of Virgo is Pisces, which is more watery, free, not here on this earth. It's up there somewhere. And the thing about, I can talk all day about Virgo Pisces energy, because their axes, I have to do a whole video, I've been talking about this for the longest, but their axes is really, really remarkable, especially when you look at the spiritual community. Pisces Virgo energy is like, I would say, in my opinion, they're the most spiritual signs, and in the sense that they, oh my god, I'm gonna have to do a separate video. I can't even talk about it in this video, it's gonna be too long. But they have a lot of spirituality between those two axes, because what they represent is the spiritual world, which is Pisces, and this earthly plane that we're on, which is Virgo. But in order for you to be spiritual, you have to take on a lot of Virgo energy of ritualism. Virgos like to have a routine. They like for things to be done a certain way at a certain time. That keeps their nerves under control, which I'll talk more about that. But just think about it. In your spiritual practice, more than likely you do something every day. You have rituals that you do every day, or at least when the new moon comes, full moon comes. When there's, I don't know, whenever there's a Mercury retrograde, you might do a different type of routine. Whenever you're on your cycle, if you're a woman, you do a different routine. Depending on the days of the week, you might have a different routine you do each day of the week. There's a lot of ritualism and there's a lot of practical application-based things when it comes to spirituality. But also, that's the Virgo energy of it. But also on the Pisces end, in order for you to kind of transcend the stuff that we're doing here, yes, you do have a routine. Yes, you do things practically, but you also have to detach from everything that's here and go into that Pisces energy and just let yourself just drift away. Drift away. Collect all the energy, all the information, all the feelings, all that, and then come back to earth and then share it with the collective. So that's why I love the Virgo Pisces axes. That energy is beautiful. I think it's beautiful. I really do. I really do. We're drinking libations. We need to fire up, you know, some things. I got some cedar and I got some sweet grass. So anyways, that's the thing with Virgos. Like they are very nervous. And the thing that people love to say about Virgos, oh my god, they want everything to be perfect. Like, things are not going to be perfect, Virgo. Like, it doesn't have to be perfect. And I think the thing with Virgo is, since they are a very nervous sign, them and Gemini have to do with the nervous system. And the thing I think about them being nervous is that, and why they strive for perfection, is because Virgos, like I said, are very smart. They're very analytical. A Virgo can come into a room and literally just be like, oh, that's not right. They need to be moved. Why didn't they get dusted? Oh my goodness, look at this needs to be done. Like they're very detail oriented. Think about how your body works as far as your intestines. Like I said, it takes a lot for I think it's pretty remarkable that your body knows what you need and what you don't need. right? And it can separate the two. It can say, okay, blood cells reabsorb this calcium, blood cells reabsorb this sodium, we need this sodium, let go of this, let go of this, let go of this. That takes a lot of discernment, right? And we have to keep that system working in order to have optimal health. And that's the thing with Virgo. Once they see that something is out of place, once they see that something is not working right, it's like their duty to make sure that it's taken care of so that things can run the way they need to run. And for Virgo, when things are running the way it needs to run, it helps to ease their nerves. It helps with their nervousness. This is why I think Virgos can come off extremely controlling. And it's not that they don't accept you. It's not that they want you to be this and that. Don't get me wrong. There's a specific, is it called masochist? What is it called? Like, where you just feel like you have to change a person. Like, you feel like you can perfect a person. You feel like, you know, you are the one that can get this person to where they need to be. They have that syndrome. A savior syndrome. Virgos have savior complexes, and I'll talk a little bit more about that. But anyhow, what was I saying? Because this is a little bit all over, but I'm just gonna let it flow, honey. Let the juices flow. Part of it is just, if I can get this right, I can relax. If I can take care of this, I can be cool. If I can get this right, everything will be okay. And sometimes it robs Virgo of being able to enjoy life, to live in the moment, to let things flow. You become robbed of that ability because you want things to work a certain way, and that's not how life works. That's not how we find true joy in life. We don't have to control each part of life in order to live it. We don't. You know, there's certain things that you can control. You just let that go. And that's the thing about Virgo. Once they get to that, you know, each zodiac sign has their less evolved self, their younger self, and even their more toxic self or low vibrational self. And then they have the flip side of that, which is their evolved self, their higher self of that zodiac sign, the older, more mature part of that zodiac sign. And with Virgos, their true purpose here is to heal. Virgo, to me, is a healer. Like I said, they can discern what needs to be done. They're very good at coming in, seeing all the problems, and not just seeing problems, but seeing, like, having practical things in place to make that better. They're very good at that. Make very good managers, very good even secretaries, because they can see where the holes are, and they can help to fill those holes. They understand that they don't run away from you know, the grit of taking care of things, right? So when I say they're the healer, you can be in a Virgo energy, or you can be in around an evolved Virgo, and they will be like, oh, I see exactly what you need help with. I see exactly what you're working on. I understand, you know, where you're coming from. And even though Virgos are very critical of people and very critical of the situations, just know that they are like 5 times more critical of themselves. And this is one of the things that sometimes I for some reason, I always attract Virgo females. What the fuck? Like, I wasn't doing it for the longest, but once I start getting into spirituality more and like being more open about it, I keep coming across Virgo women. And I'm like, why? Well, my rising sign is Virgo, but I think maybe it's to help me with my Virgo things that I got going on in my life, and Virgo tendencies, because I'll just hear them being like, oh, I'm doing this, but girl, like, ugh. And like, they're constantly beating themselves down. They're constantly like, they're not good enough. And so sometimes when you're around Virgos, my father is a Virgo, you feel like you're not good enough. You feel like there's nothing you can do to please this person. You feel like, you know, what's the point? This person is always bringing me down. This person is always like complaining about something. Ooh. I remember I worked with a Virgo. She was a new nurse. I said, are you a Virgo? She's like, yeah. I was like, girl, that's why you be complaining so much. She was like, no, I don't. I'm like, yes, you do. I just had to say it, Chad, because everybody was thinking it. I had to say it. But that's another thing. They nag and they complain a lot. But once they learn to relax, it's good. And also, even though, like I said, they're very critical, they're very understanding. They're very understanding of people. This is why I think Virgos attract people that they want to fix, because they're like, oh, I see not only do they see the worst in situations, they also see what's working. And they also see, like, if I could just fix this one little thing about you, let me just move that one little piece over. Let me just do that one. Yep. If I could just do that, you would be perfect. You would be perfect. Let me just get you together. Come here. Like I said, it's like the malleable clay. And although they're like that, their energy is like that, they also are like the potter in the sense that they feel like they can mold people and situations to their liking. Okay, this is very true for Gemini as well, except for they are able to mold and manipulate people through what they say. I mean, they're so good. Geminis are so good at talking, man. They will talk you out of your drawers, honey. Gemini energy is very good at doing that. Virgo is very good at actually doing the work to see something change, doing the work to see something evolve. This is why if you look at a lot of famous people who are very successful, or people who are like leaders in their industry, like there's hands down nobody compares. Look at the music industry. Beyonce, Michael Jackson, both Virgos, flat out. Like they will, even if they don't necessarily have the God-given talent, which a lot of Virgos are talented, they're very good at a lot of stuff, they will still be the one that works the hardest. Even if they are the most talented, they will still work the hardest. They will still get to that next level because they want to continue to perfect that craft. And sometimes it can be overwhelming. This is why it's so important for Virgos to find their tribe. We all need to find our tribe. We all need to reconnect with the people, the places, the jobs, the whatever, the interests, all those things that allow us to be whole, right? Allow us to be who we truly came here to be, allow us to feel fulfilled, right? We should always feel fulfilled within ourselves, but of course we didn't come here just to be an island. So for Virgos, it's important for them to build a team, to have people around them, because they are extremely talented and they have a lot to offer. But if they don't have the right people around them to help build what they're here to build, and to help the people that they're here to help, because Virgos are healers, like I said, and it doesn't necessarily mean like being a doctor or being, I don't know, a crystal healer or something like that, but they can heal people in so many different ways. And in order for them to reach the masses, they have to have help, because the thing with Virgo is they have that motto of, well, the best way to get work done is to do it yourself, or if you want something done right, do it yourself. And that really messes you up, because you can only do so much. You can only do so much. So get somebody to help you with it. Find the right people and just get work, build it up. That's like the biggest advice I can give for people with Virgo placements. And then wherever you have Virgo in your houses. So just a little bit well, let me finish what I was saying. So the biggest advice I can give is to get help. Wherever you're at, get somebody to help you. Wherever Virgo is, get somebody to help you with that energy. So if you're looking to see about how Virgo plays into your chart, or how to, like, what does it mean, like, so for instance, if Virgo was in your second house, this is anywhere you see Virgo, that's where you're going to want to perfect things. That's where you're going to really want to nurture things. You want to give, and it's going to take time for things to grow. This is why Virgos, not all of them, but the Virgo energy itself is really, really good for growing, for taking care of something. You see a lot of Virgos and Cancers in the healthcare field. They don't mind taking the time to see something grow. They don't mind taking the time to take care of something, looking at little bitty little things on their plants and moving stuff out the way. They're always picking at their kids, like, let me get that off your face, let me move this. And I didn't realize till I realized I had Virgo rise, and I was like, oh my goodness, girl, you be obsessing over the smallest stuff. Like, focus on the big picture now. You focus on this one little thing that nobody gonna notice but you. But in the meanwhile, you got all this stuff over here you need to take care of. And it's just like, they can become so bombarded by stuff that they need help. You need help. I'm telling you right now, Virgo energy, you need help, child. It's okay. We all do. You just get the help that you need. But anywho, so say you have like Virgo in your second house, then you are here to perfect or to work on or to put more energy into your finances, how you make your money, how you stabilize yourself, and also how you value yourself and your values in general. So you have Virgo in your 4th house, then this is going to be that's part of your life where you're going to put a lot of energy into seeing your family grow, your home grow, your family become more perfected. You can be more into your children's life and learning more about your where you came from, learning about family diseases that you can help to prevent happening to your family. If you have Virgo in your 11th house, then you might be the type of person who is always trying to fix your friends' problems. Your friends' problems is your problem, child. Ooh, it's not a good energy now. But your friends, you try to perfect your friends. You put a lot of energy into having your friends be good. You always there for your friends. You want to make sure that they're okay, you know. And I think that's beautiful. I think Virgo energy in general is very they're taken for granted, you know, because they are here to be of service to others. Anything in and also look at your 6th house too if you're trying to see how you carry out Virgo energy, because the 6th house is the Virgo house. But they're here to be of service to others, and it's sometimes a fault to themselves, because I think even though Virgo is a feminine sign, and usually feminine signs are more internal, but they're mutable, right? So they connect with a lot of people. They can see, they can cross paths with a lot of people, Virgo energy, because they're here to serve. And what can happen is they kind of lose themselves in their job. They get lost in their acts of service to the point where they become the ones that need the help. But if they're not willing to ask for the help, or if they don't even have people in their corner that is actually there that has their back, they won't get the help that they need. They'll be literally suffering in silence, and they will be the ones doing all the work, you know. They'll be the ones that have to do this shit alone, and you be wondering like, dang, why you so bitter, why you so negative, it's because they need help, and it's like they not asking for it, or nobody's offering it to them, and nobody's seeing them. But it's just like you're not being vocal about what you need. You don't want to come off as weak, or you don't want to come off like you need this and the third, because there's so many people dependent upon you. The Virgo energy can just take on a lot. Think about your intestines. Your intestines are like, what, 20 feet long or some crazy amount? They can take on a lot. And that's the same with Virgo. They take on a lot of stuff. They got a lot of hobbies. They got about 6 jobs. They got a lot of stuff they're trying to do in this world. So, you know, it's just a matter of really working on yourself, healing yourself, forgiving yourself, giving yourself time to relax, giving yourself the benefit of the doubt, and then just working on certain things every day to get to where you want to be at Virgo. Don't be so hard on yourself. That's like the biggest thing, is like, don't be so hard on yourself. Even if you're like, well, I did all this, I did all that, why don't I have all this done? Why do I still have all these things that's going on that's not right? Take some stuff off your list. Take some things off your plate. It'll be waiting for you. And that's something I gotta learn for myself. That I do definitely need to take some stuff off my plate. I have to prioritize. They think they can do everything because they feel like working on it and just putting in the time and the effort is all you have to do to get there. But sometimes that's not what you came here to do. Not what you came here to do. You're not going to be able to perfect anything if you got about 8 different things you got on your plate, Virgo. I'm telling to myself, oh child. Anyways, but that is the Virgo energy. I could definitely go more into detail, but they're healers, they're naggers, they're worriers, but they actually will put in the work. And for them, because their mind is always shifting and they're always trying to figure out what can they do better, how can they make this and the third, for them, the way they get through is they just make things look good. They make things function better. They make things run well, because that helps to ease their anxiety and to ease their mind, which sometimes we need that. We need order. If you look at any part of your life, in order for you to get to the next level, you have to create structure. You have to have certain things in place, and you have to implement those things on a daily basis. So wherever you have Virgo at, and whatever's in your 6th house, that's the part of your life that you really you're gonna have to really get together in order to see some things happen for you. But in general, it's a quote that's basically like, if you want to know your future, look at your daily habits. That's a Virgo thing, or that's Virgo things, honey. And during this Virgo season, it behooves you to look at your daily habits, look at the life that you want to have going forward, and see what you can do every day. It doesn't have to be every day. It's not gonna always be perfect. You're not gonna always fit. You're not gonna always follow that plan that you put in place, but put something in place. Really work on it, and you will see like true benefits of your labor. Virgo is here to show us that if you work towards something, it's yours. It's yours, baby. It is yours for the taking. But yeah, that's all we want to really say about Virgo. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Shout out to all my Virgo risings. It's been a great ride. And I want us to talk a little bit about Virgo humility. I think the thing that helps Virgo to stay humble is probably the fact that they see that nothing is perfect. No one is perfect. We all have flaws. Virgo sees the flaws in everything. They see the cracks in everything, and most importantly, they see it in themselves all the time. So I think this kind of helps them to not be on a high horse, because they're like, I'm not perfect either. You know, like, dang, this is messed up, but I got a whole pile of dishes at home I need to wash. You know, something like that. Like, this is a mess, but dang, well, I mean, I guess I did it. So they learn how to have that humility, because it's not just them looking out and seeing the issue, they look within as well, which is truly important, and more of us need to do that. Look out and look within. It has to be both worlds. It has to be both sides. But yeah, that's that. I hope you all enjoyed the video.